Hello there. I was kind of just thinking about what I would do to summarize my overall reflection of my introduction to field experience class. And one of the things that really kind of came to mind for me in a way to kind of make this where it's meaningful and impactful is to just kind of spend a little bit of time talking about my experience. One thing that if I wish I had right now as a visual to share with you would be a sponge. So imagine right now as I'm having this, as I'm doing this video, that I have a sponge and I have taken that sponge and I've just put it in a bucket of water and filled that sponge up with water. And then I've taken that sponge and then just in that same container that I got the water from, I poured that sponge back out. For me, this whole experience, I feel like I've just been a sponge. I've tried to just retain as much information as I possibly can, um, writing down notes, incorporating everything that I'm learning in my classes, everything that I'm doing hands on, trying to remember. Most of the time, a good portion of the time, I feel like my brain is kind of on overload just because I'm trying to remember everything and trying to do everything. And so it's kind of like overstimulated a little bit. But I would say a sponge. So if I had a picture of a sponge, I'd be sharing a sponge. I have been so fortunate with this experience to be able to sit in and observe some really good teachers at my school at Bernadine Sits. Um, I've been able to sit in with my math, the leader of our math team. I've also been able to have another teacher, an interventionist, work with me in my classroom, and that has been a big helpful thing. And I feel like I am where I am now because of this experience, and also being able to kind of per se be poured into, just like the sponge. What I've gathered from them I've been able to pour back out into my classes, my classroom experience, and also doing my classes with Newman. And so if I had that visual, I would have shared that with you, but I don't have the visual. So I thought the next best thing would be to do a video. And so briefly, that's kind of what I thought would be a creative way to do that. Also on here, one of the other things to consider addressing um, would be I would like to talk about reflecting on my overall experience in the field. So this year, right now, my experience is I'm a long-term sub, sixth grade math, Bernadine Sits. I am one of two other math teachers. There's a total of us three sixth grade math teachers there, and I feel like it's been kind of a roller coaster. It's been for the most part, I would say it's been really good. There's been really hard days, like with anything. But I think the thing that this overall experience has taught me is that I am a lot stronger than I realize, and that I am doing amazing. I need to stop beating myself up and just be confident and just go with my gut per se, and just not sweating the small stuff, just kind of letting, just kind of not, just kind of being okay with things not being perfect. And that's a hard thing. Um, but sometimes when we are okay with things not being perfect, things are so much better than they would have normally been. And so those are just a few things that I take away from my overall experience. Also just being able to kind of see the different teachers that I observed and how they do things, and just kind of gleaning from that and learning from that. Overall, it's been an awesome experience thus far. I've enjoyed observing the teachers and learning from them. And so, just once again, if I had my image, it would be a sponge that I've soaked in water and just soaked up the water. For me, would be soaking up all the knowledge that I've learned from observing and also being in the classroom and having um, another teacher, a licensed teacher, in there with me. And then also just pouring that information out that I've received to my students, and then also applying that information to my Newman classes as well. Thank you so much. I have enjoyed my Introduction to Field Experience class.